I want to say thank you for actually being here. You've got so many things to do. There's so many things on the media, social media, you could be listening, but you've taken this time to listen to me. So I just want to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And the reason why I do these things is for people like you. So thank you. Thank you for being here. I just want you to know that I don't take this for granted. I actually appreciate it, and I appreciate you. So I hope you get a message from here that can help you to become a better person, because my whole principle is very simple. If I can get one person to change, that's my goal. That's what I want in life. The first change in life actually starts with us. So if I can change fast, and that change is maybe sitting here, trying to do the right thing, being able to share my life experiences with people, and if I can connect with one person and go, oh, I've gone through that. I can, if he did it, I can do it, and then get off and do something. That's all I want to do in life, to be able to make one person a better person. So I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, the next topic I'm going to talk about, first, I don't think I'm qualified to talk about this because I'm not a parent, but hey, sometimes you don't have to be something to be able to talk about something, if you get what I'm talking about. This is just my view. Over the last 20 years, I've been privileged to train so many people in my life, not only training, but also life coaching. And I've learned a few things, and those are the things that I'm sharing with you, my experiences in life. These are not things I'm telling you I went to uni to study. No, I'm one of those guys who come from that school called the Street Smart School, and where you're in a situation, you learn from doing, seeing, and adapting to the different situation. If I didn't see that there's some things that are not working, then I would be an idiot. My first job was in a big gym in Florida. And I remember this area called Florida was a very successful area. And I was lucky enough to deal with so many parents. And I went through experiencing really different ways of parenting, which, that's what I want to share with you today. I'll give you a very good example. I remember this particular kid who was such a lovely kid. I used to train the kid. And at the age of 16, I couldn't ask for a good friend, but his parent had given him a credit card. So I'm looking at a kid who's 16 years, and the parents have given him a credit card. He can drive, do whatever he can. And I'm not complaining, because most of the time when I was with him, he could shout me lunch, he could buy me some protein, and I'm not complaining. It was all good. But when you're 16, you haven't worked. You've got a credit card that, it's got maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in it. What is it that you think the kid is learning? You be the judge on that. The kid doesn't know how to make money, but uses money. The kid doesn't know, where the money is coming from, but he's got money. And this is just what it was. And it wasn't only one parent. No, it was a few parents. The second example I remember very well, when one of the kids came to the gym and I was training them. And on their, I think it was 18th birthday, their parents had bought them a BMW at the age of 18. BMW at the age of 18. And you know what? Maybe I'm just too jealous that when I was 18, nobody bought me a BMW for my birthday. But one thing I want to share with you is, if you don't know how hard it is to work for something, you don't appreciate it. The moment you know the value of something, you're in a situation to value it more. Now, Parenting 101, which is the thing I'm going to talk about, it's what are some of the things that I don't, and I'm not saying it's wrong or right, because in this world, there's no wrong or right. But if you're doing this, I don't think you're actually giving your kids the tools that they require to be able to do or to be better people in life. If you're a parent and you've said this to yourself, I need you to look back and stop. My kids are not going to suffer as I suffered. I'm going to give my kids everything that they need. If that's what you say to yourself, I want you to understand what you went through made you who you are. The things that you went through taught you a few things. They taught you resilience. They taught you dedication. They taught you discipline. So when you say to yourself that I don't want my kids to go through what I went through, and hey, if anyone went through some trauma and all that, that's not what I mean. But I'm talking about you working hard for what you have now. You having the tools to be able to survive in this world. You having the discipline, dedication, resilience to be able to achieve what you want in life. If you're not teaching your kid that and you're giving them everything, you're letting your kid down. Because without those things in life, without patience, without dedication, without perseverance, without resilience, which they are the tools that have got you to where you are, and you're successful because you had to apply those tools, and you're denying your son, your daughter, your they, so that you're giving them everything, that's not actually helping your kid. That's a mistake that you're doing. Now, point number 2, there's a very fine line between being a parent and being friends with your kid. I know we live in a modern society where we want to look cool. You know, when I was working at the gym at Florida, you know, parents wanted to even dress up like their kids, dress up in the same outfit. I don't have a problem with that. But you have to be able to draw a line between being friends and being a parent. At the end of the day, you have responsibility of being a parent, not being a friend. One of the places I've come to see and realize that parents don't get it right, it's the line between I want my kid to find me cool and see me cool. So you end up compensating so much to being a friend and wanting them to do everything instead of drawing a line and saying, hey, I'm your parents and this is what I need to do. And you need to have some boundaries with your kids so that they understand that you're the parent. So if you're allowing your kid or you want your kids to look at you like you're cool, that's maybe somewhere where we have to actually realize that it's not working. Now, fast forwarding, I have so many parents who come to me and goes, what happened? I've raised my kid up in this way, but they don't want to work. You know, my kid doesn't respect me. My kid doesn't listen to me. If you're asking yourself that question, it's too late. Because the time for you to ask that question is maybe 10 years ago before they were 14, 15, 16. The values that you instilled in them when they were maybe growing up, when they were 7, 6, maybe 7, 8, 9, it's what they are actually growing up to become. And I know there's a lot of different things, environmental factors, you know, social media and all that. But the things that you put in place when they were growing up, if you gave them everything, did everything, wanted to be cool, there was no boundaries, you didn't want to be your parents, you wanted to be their friend, it's going to affect them when they are 14, 15, 16. And you start asking, where did it go wrong? Of course, where it went wrong, it's from the beginning. I feel so sad when parents come to me and say, this has happened to my son, this has happened to my daughter, this has happened to my they, and all that. The first question I ask them is this something that has happened now, or this is something that you started before? I don't have a license to talk about this because I don't have kids, but I've got enough experience to be able to see. I've got a lot of nephews to be able to see that there's some fundamentals as parent you need to be able to put in place. So stop complaining about what has happened to your kid or your kids at the present time, and go back and see what happened. And the last point that I want to share with you before I jump off of here, because I know some of you, I'm saying something that you don't want to hear. So maybe some have already jumped out because you're like, whoa, don't tell me how to parent my kid. The last thing, it's not spending time with your kids. That's it. If you're a parent, you've given your kids all the toys, you've given them everything, and you think that's the answer, I have a message for you. That's not the answer. You can make as much money as you want, you can have a big house as you want, you can have everything that you want. The only thing your kids need, it's your love and your time. Doesn't matter what you have. I remember when I was growing up, we used to sit at dinner, all of us, and we could sit around a fire and we could talk, and that was one of the best memories that I can remember, sitting there as a family. And at occasion, I could just spend some time sitting there with my mom. My dad was never there in that sense because he had to work, but I had to sit with mom. And that just made me, I had a really strong connection with my mom because she just took time and sat with me. Give your kids time. Share them your time. Don't tell me you're too busy. If you're too busy to spend time with your kid, somebody somewhere is spending time with your kid, and the message they are giving your kid is not the message you want to hear. 5 years, 10 years from now, you ask yourself, where did I go wrong? And it's as easy as taking time to understand your kid. Taking time to understand what they like, what they don't like, who their friends are, who their friends' dogs are, which sports they play, which friends they meet at the sport. I know it's a lot, but I'm sorry to tell you, this kid didn't send you an email to tell you that I want to come to the earth. You brought them to this earth. So it's your full responsibility for you to be able to give them what they require. And that's love and time. Not the credit card, not being friends with them or doing such things, or not giving them all the PlayStation or everything. All these kids need is time and your love. So if you're a parent out there, forget about all these things. Start spending time with your kid, or trust me, somebody on social media will be giving them a message. And the message that they're going to give them, it's 3 messages: sex, drugs, and violence. You be the judge. Which one of those do you want your kid to be involved in? You know what it is? It's time to keep it real.